From coast to coast and around the globe, you are now tuned into Fly Christian Couple on Air.
Honey, you gotta be the type of woman who carries a high standard and is not afraid to march the beat of her own drum.
We just want to see people blessed, man. Just, living the best lives possible.
Yes, you gotta put God first, believe in yourself, and definitely dream big.
Man, it's amazing what God can do if you just give it all to Him.
Terry, I love you so much, and I feel so blessed to be your wife.
Baby, I love you, and I'm so grateful to be your husband.
Fly people of the earth, welcome to another episode of Fly Christian Couple on Air. I am your host, Terry McCarter Jr., and I'm here with a queen, my sweet lady love, my beautiful co-host, my beautiful wife, Tanya McCarter. Baby, say what's up to all the Fly Christians.
Hello, everyone. We're excited to be back for yet another episode.
Yes, sir. Yes, indeed.
Yes.
Welcome back. Welcome back. It's just a pleasure and an honor to be here again.
It is.
You know, whenever we do a show, we always like to open the show by giving honor to God.
Yeah.
You know, who's the head of our life, who's
Amen.
the king, who is just so amazing in our everyday life.
Yes.
And he's just always good. And
Yes.
we love him. We love him.
Yes. We just are blown away with the Lord and how awesome He has not only just been in our lives, but just our family lives, our friends, our business partners, different people that we may encounter. We send up a prayer to, or for. And I just don't know if you guys know or not, but it is just an awesome thing to see yourself or see you pray for someone. For someone and see how God moves in their life, be able to experience the growth and the transformation that God has in their life. And we just excited about God because anyone that's tuning in, definitely be faithful on your prayer walk, just in your life in general when it comes to the Lord, and building a personal relationship. We are going to stress that on every show that you guys tune in on, because a relationship with the Lord is pure joy. And God and the enemy, he wants us to resist Jesus.
Right.
He wants us to resist wisdom. He wants us to resist the word so that we don't experience that true joy of God. And God, we are so over blown away with you. And Lord, we just love you so much. And we give you all the glory and all the honor, because without you, we're absolutely nothing.
That's right. Indeed.
Yes.
Indeed. You're so right. And, man, we just always want to open the show and give God His.
Oh yeah.
We can never tell Him enough.
Right.
How grateful we are for just His goodness alone. And so, man. I mean, to all the Fly listeners out there, man, just continue to hold on. Continue to just hold on to God's unchanging hand.
Right.
And He'll definitely be there for you.
Right.
One thing that that the wife and I love to do. Is hold each other accountable.
Right.
That's something that you guys may have heard in, the last couple of shows.
Right.
How we talk about holding each other accountable, being that help or that encouragement to one another in our spiritual walk. Mm-hmm. And so this week, every week we take a particular thing that we feel that we need to work on.
Right.
And it might be self-love, it might be being grateful, it might be being
love
faithful.
Walk.
Love walk, something to that nature.
Yes.
But this week we have really been focusing on just our prayer walk, just our prayer life, strengthening our prayer life. So that's something that we always want to do because prayer changes things.
It does. It's power.
You know, it's so much power in getting on our knees and just taking whatever we have, whatever situation, whether it's good or bad,
Right.
taking it to God and leaving it there and just allowing God to work in our lives.
Oh, yes. And, you know, anyone that is tuning in, if you don't have a spouse or someone that you're in a serious relationship with, you can hold a friend accountable if you
Right.
guys are into the church together,
Right,
or it could be anyone that you
right.
choose to hold accountable. Because it's important that we have that. You know, many of us, we don't really like when we have that person or we have that pastor that kind of step on our toes.
Right.
But sometimes it's good to have that because God blesses us. It's a transformation that can be taken into you. It can be changed, and that just goes back to even the maturity of developing. And when you hold that person accountable and that person holds you accountable, then y'all can begin to grow together. You
That's
can
right.
see change that develops in your life, and God operating new things in your life. And also, don't just get into prayer when you are in those low moments.
That's
Make
right.
this a daily habit. Something
Absolutely.
that you do every single day. It could be 5 minutes, it could be 10 minutes, it could be
Right.
30 minutes, it could be an hour. Spend time with the Lord in prayer, because
right.
prayer is going to bring more power. It's going to bring more peace. It's going to bring family together, relationships together.
That's right.
I mean, we need to also, babe, get a hashtag that is trending like prayer life.
Prayer life.
You
That's
know,
dope.
and we
That's
going
dope.
hard for God in prayer, because the enemy is really being the enemy is very real out here right now.
Absolutely.
And we all need to be in prayer
We in a
with
fight
the Lord.
That's right. We in a fight every day.
And not fighting against each other. Do you agree?
Exactly.
Right.
You know, we in a fight with the enemy. You know, we in a spiritual warfare.
Right.
You know, so we gotta be on our A game when it comes to a prayer life.
That's
you know?
true.
And so we want to take every situation, everything, every
Yes.
small thing, every big thing,
Yes.
every decision that we're making. We want to take it to God in prayer.
Yes.
You know, and allow Him to just to bless us, to take us to where we need to go in our lives.
Yes. And go ahead,
go-
babe. I'm sorry.
Well, I was gonna say, speaking of prayer, I saw where they had this massive earthquake
Oh yeah.
over in Italy, and so many lives were lost. I think the last I heard, it was like over 250 people lost their lives. Some were still buried under the rubble, you know,
Wow. That's so
where they could still hear voices crying out, you know. And man, it was just a sad thing to hear about.
Yeah.
But once again, you know, from Fly Christian Couple, we're sending our prayers
Yes.
from
Yes.
here in the States over into Italy, and just petitioning God to just send His angels to
Yes.
comfort, you know, the people, the lives that were taken, and the families that are affected by that. You know, it's such a big thing. So we got to be praying, y'all.
Yes, we got to be in prayer, and that's always, you know, man, I really hated to hear that. That's
Yeah,
just so
yeah.
many, you know,
That's
by
a lot of
natural
people.
cause. That is.
That's a lot of people.
That is.
A natural disaster, you
It
know, just
is.
earthquake, just something that takes 5 or 10 seconds,
That I know.
and it takes that many lives. You know, it's just it's amazing. But you know, God is a healer. He's a deliverer.
He is.
And man, like I said, you know, once again, prayers just go out, you know, from Fly Christian, because we're just extending our hand, just
Yes, Lord.
and just praying for
Yes,
them.
Lord.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes,
Absolutely.
and all of our prayer warriors, we just ask that you just continue to keep them lifted up in prayer.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
That's amazing, babe. I love that how you pointed that out,
Right,
because man, when we heard about that, that's ooh,
Yeah, it's devastating. It's
yes. Yeah, and I just wanted to touch on something real quick.
Okay.
Just in your prayer walk, it allows you to build up your confidence in the Lord.
Absolutely.
And so something that you may be asking God for, or something that you may desire God to do.
Right.
Even when the enemy is in your mind and trying to trick you and convince you that God is not working on your behalf,
Right.
you understand that the power of prayer, those moments that you spend intimately with him through prayer, you make the enemy feel ashamed.
Right.
Because what you're doing in those moments of spending that time with God is you're building up your faith. You're building up your prayer walk. You're building up your relationship with Jesus. So you like, enemy, I know you're not going to convince my mind. You're
That's
not
right.
going to talk to me. You're not going to trick me.
Yeah.
And I just think having that prayer walk with God and being in prayer with him daily, it allows your mind to be able to block the things of the enemy out, and you're focused on your prayer. Because what I was going to say is, in that prayer walk, we experience things with God.
That's right.
It brings us closer to his heart.
Absolutely.
His presence. It just brings us closer to him.
That's right.
And the things that the enemy wants to distract us from and he wants to put on the inside of us, we're then able to turn away from those things and say, no, enemy, you're wrong.
That's right.
I know
That's
who
right.
I am in God.
Absolutely.
And so I just wanted to point that out, because prayer is so many things that happen in prayer.
You know, it's God gives us his power, and we're able to speak life
Right.
to our situations. You know, we don't have to settle
Right.
when it comes to prayer. We don't have to listen to the enemy. We don't
Right.
have to give in to his tactics.
Right,
You know, God gives
right.
us power to fight
Amen.
back. So that's what prayer is. It's the
Amen.
power to
Amen.
fight back, to fight the enemy.
Amen. And babe, I just want to read this real quick. It
Okay.
says in 1 John 5:14 that this is the confidence we have in approaching God,
Okay.
that if we ask anything according to his will, he hears us.
Absolutely.
And the enemy wants us to trick us. He can only trick us when our prayer walk is not where it needs to be with the Lord.
That's right. That's right. You know, babe, it's funny because, when you're talking about prayer, you can apply prayer to so many different things. Mm-hmm. And from this survey that I was just reading this morning,
Right.
a lot of us need to be praying about our jobs.
That's true.
That's
true.
because I was reading this survey where it was saying that American employment, they are 43% of people have stress in their life due to their jobs.
Wow.
And I thought that was just
Wow.
amazing.
Yeah, that's a large.
43% of people,
Wow.
working Americans, have stress in their lives due to their jobs. Now, this may be from the pressure of the job. Mm-hmm. This may be from the negativity that they experience, I guess, with people on the job.
Right.
And it affects their eating habits.
Right.
It affects their sleeping habits.
Mm-hmm.
And this is why a lot of people suffer. I guess their attitudes change, or
Right.
Just the negativity that they have to deal with, or the pressure that they have
Right.
to deal with on their job is causing so much stress
Right.
in their lives.
That's like 57% of only health that you have left. If you're stressed,
That's right.
43%. That's like only 57% of the health that you have.
Right.
Where you're happy, where you're experiencing joy. But then think about if you're experiencing that much, and then you have to come back home and you have to take care of family,
Right.
and you have to take care of your needs and
Right.
all those things that you are having to do. Then on top of that, having to deal with that tremendous amount of stress at work,
Right.
that's a really serious statistic.
Yeah, it
because
is.
a lot
It
of
is.
people are, I think, getting sick behind being stressed out at work.
Man, I think that a lot of these deaths, whether it's
And that's just in the United States,
that's
right?
just in the U.S.
Wow.
Now, I think a lot of deaths are caused by stress, but the stress is caused from people waking up every day, going to these jobs,
that they're miserable
and they're under so much pressure
Right.
to pay bills, and
Right.
finances are not up to par, where they should be.
Right.
And people die behind this.
Right, because they're taking on so much.
Right.
Especially when you have like your single parents, your single fathers, or like our working moms and different things like that. That's stressful.
It is
when you're having to keep up, because honestly, most people, babe, they can't give up. They have to continue working. They have to continue some people feel like they have to continue going into these jobs or to these companies, especially if they have invested a lot of time there.
Oh yeah, I mean, absolutely, I understand that, but
and the money, like you said, the money is the biggest
part.
Finances.
I think the money is the biggest part,
right?
And but what do you think we could do as just individuals? I think, in my opinion, I think we should live a little bit more.
We should definitely live a whole lot more.
I mean, because just from a personal standpoint, we've had the chance to live here in the South. We've had the chance to live out on the West Coast,
right?
And you can kind of see the
whole nother
difference.
Ball game.
Yeah,
right.
You can see it's a different dynamic. I think in the South we tend to work harder. We tend to really just focus on work.
Right.
Not a whole lot of vacation time. Not
Family.
A whole lot of but on the West Coast,
right?
It's a little bit different. I see people living a little bit more,
right?
Just kind of having more fun or more activities going in their lives instead of just work all the time.
It's so funny, when we first went on the West Coast to Cali, I think we were just so amazed. We were just blown away by adult males,
right? Throwing frisbees in the park.
Yeah. And I just feel like that is just pure amazing when you can enjoy life.
Enjoy your life instead of just being under stress.
Work.
But I think
it needs to be a balance, baby.
It does needs to be it needs to be a balance. But I think we somewhat brought some of that back with us when we moved back to the South. Because we way more laid back,
Yeah, that's true.
We don't really work as hard as we used to.
That's
not
true.
saying that we don't have to.
Right.
I'm just saying, like, we stopped sweating a lot of the small stuff.
That's true.
And I think lot of people need to understand that life is about being happy.
Yes.
Life is about enjoying your family, enjoying one another, and not just work all the time.
Yeah, because that's tiring.
It is.
And at some point, babe, when it comes to finances, it has to be a balance.
That's
so
right.
If you're just, anybody who's tuning in, if you're working all the time and you're not making time for yourself,
right.
Get out and do yoga.
Do some things different, man. Change it up.
Go swimming, go to the park, take a walk.
That's right.
Just different things you could do. Ride
Go
a bike.
riding. Yeah.
And these are the things that I think we experienced, and it allowed us to loosen up and enjoy life.
That's right.
And just embrace, having joy. Even, cooking. Some people really enjoy cooking.
That's right.
Or,
That's right.
even some type of health tips, and these are things that I'll be doing later on our YouTube. But, I just think that, even doing those teas, I know me and my mom are always kind of sharing on those health teas.
Right. I think, whatever it is that you like to do, I think you should do more of it.
Yeah, do more.
Do more of what you love to do instead of just working all the time. Work. That's all your life consists of.
And a routine. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, man.
No.
Yeah.
Sometimes just live outside
the box.
Outside the routine.
That's right.
Yeah.
I think it's important just for your health alone, for your health. And to just, loosen up, relax a little bit, live a little bit more than, the usual.
Yes.
And I think it'll cut out some of that stress, man.
Baby, I think that did help us, though.
Oh, absolutely.
Just going out to the West Coast. Oh, my God. Just a whole different.
Man, we very laid back now.
Yeah.
I mean, we You know?
Yeah.
We laid back, and I mean, I thank God for that because it really opened our mind.
Yes.
You know, it opened our mind and opened us up to really take a look at ourselves and be like, man, you know, we've been working hard.
And we looking around like, but you know something I wanted to share, babe. Do you know in Italy they have where, and it's sad that we're actually talking about Italy right now because of everything that has occurred there. But
Right.
Do you know that they actually have a set time where they give themselves 3 hours a day?
Right.
All of the people who work, they give themselves a set time within that day. It could be 3 to 4 hours, and the whole I don't know if it's just the city or the
Okay.
whole country.
Okay.
But it's a certain city there that I'm thinking of. I don't know the pure details of it.
Right.
But they actually give themselves a free moment to actually enjoy that day.
I've heard that though. I've heard that they just completely stop working, and they just relax,
Right.
and the whole entire city does it.
And I'm sorry, but some people, you know, they actually, and I know, you know, we don't advise this, but you know, some people, they have like a little drink of wine or whatever
Right.
it is that they do
To unwind,
enjoy,
right.
to unwind. That's
Right.
what they do. Now
Right.
again, we don't encourage that, but
No, of
you
course
know,
But I know
that-
what you're saying.
right.
We need to, you know, we need to find that thing that
that
for
you
us,
love.
yes, and do more of it.
That's of God,
Right, and do more of that.
right?
You know, and it's really just to live a little bit more than we do.
Yeah, and would you say that too for like Christians?
Absolutely.
I do too. I
Absolutely.
agree.
Man, Christians work very hard, you
Yeah.
know. Everybody work hard, man. You know, you see
Yeah.
people just going to work and they trying to support their families and
Mm-hmm.
but you know, a lot of times that becomes our life.
Yes.
Our careers, our
Yes.
job becomes our entire life.
Yeah.
And we forget to enjoy life. We forget that life is short. We
Yes.
forget that.
That's true.
And you know, this is a temporary thing, and
That's
we're here
true.
to enjoy one another. While we're here, we should be loving on each other.
That's true.
We should be enjoying family members
That's
and our
true.
children, and man, just living a blessed life.
That's true.
That's what this thing is all about.
That's true.
Yeah.
I agree.
So yeah.
Yes. So anybody who's tuning in, definitely make it a balance.
Make it a
for
balance,
you.
man.
Don't feel bad, you know, if you are you know, wanting to spend a little bit more time on yourself,
Treat yourself.
enjoying yourself,
That's
treat
right.
yourself,
Treat yourself.
because 43% of people are stressed out behind their job.
That's right.
You know, go to work in peace.
That's right.
And
That's
the
right.
best thing you can do when you're working is work like you're working unto the Lord and not unto man.
That's
That
right.
is a peace of mind.
Absolutely. That's good stuff, baby.
Yes.
That's good stuff. Man, you know what? We got a great show today. We got a great show lined up, and we're going to be talking about romance. Romance.
One of my favorite topics.
We're going to be talking about continuing the romance after we say I do. It's hard to do. It's you know what? A lot of times we get in relationships, and in the beginning, the relationship is so new, and you're so in love. You're so you're just taken back by the person that you're with.
Yeah.
They can't do no wrong. You can't do no wrong. You know. And you just, you know, you're going out on dates. You're having a good time. The conversation is just, wow.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. You like,
Man, she just blow me away.
Oh, my
he
God.
blow me away.
phone calls, text messages.
Every minute of the day. You know, you
just breathing
so,
in each other's ear.
You're just so into one another. You know how we start out. You know.
Right.
This is how we start out now.
Right.
But then we might get serious on in this relationship.
Things
or
get real,
we get married.
comfortable.
Man, and that thing can take a whole nother turn.
Right.
Because after we say I do, we start having children. We might buy a house or,
Right. Mortgage.
You got a mortgage now. You got a career that you're having to deal with, or you're going to work every day. And real life
settles in.
We start dealing with bills and finances.
Right.
We got to see to the children. And,
yes. Soccer practices.
Oh, man,
basketball.
Everything. I mean, it's
football.
so much that comes with life. That in those moments, we kind of forget about one another. So everything becomes about the children, or it becomes about our jobs, and we stressed out. 43% of us stressed out,
Right.
And so,
and we need to chill more.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. But it's hard to continue that romance.
Yeah.
After we've gotten married. And it's hard to continue, to just it's not like it was in the beginning, you know, because conversations change.
That's
true. It goes from, baby, I can't stop thinking about you, to now, the baby needs some diapers.
Right.
And, did you pick him up from practice?
Daycare,
Yeah, all types of stuff. So real life begins.
Yeah.
And
that's not a bad thing. That's, if you work those steps that God have required you to work, and you be patient, and work in process, then though it becomes growth. And it's a blessing for your life. But then if you're not doing it the right way, then it also becomes.
The thing about it is, if we're not keeping each other a priority.
Top priority.
A top priority. Then it becomes lackluster. The romance kind of dies down. It simmers down a little bit.
That's true.
And then that could even play into the sex life a little bit. It begins to dwindle a little bit.
Right.
And so.
And then, other problems, I think, start to come in where there's cheating and infidelity and issues like that you have to deal with.
It can definitely lead to that.
Yes.
It can definitely lead to that.
Yes.
Because romance is so important in a marriage. It's so important to keep that spark, to keep it going long after you say I do, long after you have children, or long after you juggling your career. It's important to keep that romance alive. So,
and I think a good thing is, and it's just something that I think made me when you said that, was, I think when you said that you're kind of trying to juggle careers, I think it's, some of us are trying to play catch up. So it's almost like you're trying to catch up for what you missed out on.
Yeah, that's true.
And
that's true.
That's what, just continue to pray about that, and just ask God to allow you to put the first things first.
Absolutely.
That's now, so if you have a family and you have a husband, you may just have to focus on those things right now until you are able to get back over to the things that you desire to do, or you may, everybody, I feel like, has a purpose that God has given each one of us to do.
That's right.
And I think in doing that, there's joy.
Yeah.
So, babe, sometimes the romance is not necessarily there because people don't feel that self-love.
That's
so
true.
It's hard to love on somebody else, show someone affection, show someone romance when you don't feel romantic yourself.
Yeah.
But this is a good topic. I love this topic because I'm loving it.
The reason why it's so important. It's an important factor in marriage. And like I was saying, a lot of times we just get caught up in life.
Right.
Yeah. And so we have to do certain things.
Right.
After you get married, you have to think. You
That's
have
true.
to try
That's true.
to come up with
That's
ways
true.
to be
romantic.
Right. It's not like I was saying in the beginning, it's so new that things just kind of happen. It happens because you're so into one another.
That's true.
And so it doesn't take a lot of energy. It doesn't take a whole lot for you to do. you don't have to put in a whole lot of work because this thing is so new.
Right, and you haven't, like you said, you haven't taken on all that responsibility either.
Right, you're just in a fascination.
Right,
you're just in a
fantasy.
fascination stage, you know.
Right.
But then, long after that, real life sets in.
Yes.
And so, what are some things that you think that we could do, or that people could do to rekindle their marriage, or to bring that romance back? Because a lot of times it just dwindles down. So what do you think?
I think now let me just say this before I actually answer that.
Okay.
I think that if you are a married couple and you have children together, and your marriage has that, those, you and your spouse and your kids, I think we need to understand that it's not going to be like it was in the beginning.
Right.
Like,
that's true.
There needs to be an understanding with that couple first.
That's
and foremost,
right. It definitely needs to be
to understand that, the woman isn't going to feel the same. The husband, it may have to work a little bit more, and the wife may work too.
Right.
But it's a lot of responsibility that she's going to take on because she is the mother.
That's right.
And so body is going to change. And any woman body is going to change with children or without children.
Right.
And I just think that it has to be an understanding with that male, and it also has to be an understanding with that woman as well. So I think for number one, it's going to have to be understanding.
Yeah.
And then I think once you understand and you're able to mesmerize each other with your mind, understanding that this is growth. We're not 18.
That's
we're not 21 anymore.
That's right. We need that
we are grown people now with a house, mortgage.
That's right.
We have bills that we have to pay. We have kids together. It's just that growth. That's sexy. I think that's very attractive.
It is.
And I don't know if that's appropriate to say on Black Christian Couple.
But it is. Like we all grown. Go ahead on. Proceed.
Yeah. So I just think that I think that that's once you and your partner are growing together.
Right.
I think that that's I love to see that.
Yeah.
When you're growing together and then you're able to get an understanding. Yeah. But to answer your question, babe, I think that people need to date more. So if you need to drop your children off at your mom's house or your father's house, or have a babysitter come over, date each other. Do little small things like if you can't go out, put your children to bed. Okay. And you can do little things like it's something as simple as movie night, having a movie together, enjoying a movie together, or rose petals, a surprise for your spouse.
That's right.
Wives.
I like that.
You can do just little things like you said, leaving just little letters around the house, and different things like that, just to spice your marriage up.
It's important, and we do this all the time. As a married couple, we've been married a few years, and so it's important that we revisit those first moments when we first got together. Reflect. It's good to reflect. I think that when you set up a date night or something like that, like you said, you don't have to always go out, but if you do go out, you can have a nice romantic setting.
That's true.
These are things that we do now.
And it don't always have to cost money.
It don't always have to be expensive.
No. Love don't cost that.
That's right. I think it's important that you revisit those first days when you first got together. Yeah. Because I think that it reminds you of why
you're together.
That's
true.
Sometimes we can lose that. Man,
that's
when
true.
you're dealing with everyday life,
that's
you're going
true.
to work, you got these kids, it's easy to forget, what got us here. So I think that a date night is good. I think that was a great thing that you said. Date each other. Continue to date long after you're married. Continue to date each other.
Right.
And
no matter how long you've been married.
That's right. And focus on those beginning days, the first beginnings, to really just reconnect and reflect and talk about, how you guys got together.
That's true.
and it will remind you of why
That's
you're
true.
in love.
That's true.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
I
like
love that.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
dope.
amazing.
Yeah.
But just, like you said, it could be small little things that
Right.
you do in dating.
Yeah.
And just, showing your spouse how much you love them and you appreciate them
Right.
are really small. Guys, these are some small gestures, that
That's
could
right.
really make up for some huge things.
That's right.
Just simple things, just showing appreciation,
Yeah.
showing love.
That's right.
Just continuing to date one another.
Right.
Creating those, even having those intimate talks.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's
but a
good
lot of
to-
people call it what, pillow talk?
They call it pillow talk or whatever kind of long as you talking. That's the, long as you, because
Right.
married people stop talking.
Yes.
And once you stop talking, that's a dangerous place to be. So
Yeah.
let's talk.
Because then somebody else can be in your ear.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It just
you don't
opens the
want
door
that.
for other
Right.
things. So as long as we talking, whether it's on the pillow, whether we on a at a restaurant, whether we got a quiet night at home,
Right.
as long as we talking.
Yeah, I know that's right.
Yeah, it's good to communicate. It's good to communicate.
Babe, it was something I was gonna add actually. Okay. You know how we are explaining all of these things. I think that in the beginning of marriage, you have to also be kind of practicing.
You got to
these
set the
things.
tone.
You have to set the tone. in the
Right.
beginning.
I get
so if you're a newlywed couple or if you are desiring to be married,
Right.
desire to do these things. Make this a habit.
Make it a habit.
Don't
Make it
just,
don't
just
what?
do this for anniversaries, birthdays.
Don't even make it a habit. Make it a lifestyle.
Make it a lifestyle. You
Make
said
it a
that, babe.
lifestyle.
You said that.
Yeah.
Yes.
We have to do that.
Yes. Yeah, make it a lifestyle. But I think that it's important to practice, practice loving on your spouse, practice encouraging them,
Right.
practice building them up, because
That's
that has a lot to do, especially when, as women.
Yeah.
And that's kind of something I wanted to touch on as well, because we're not just talking about the romance of what to do, different things like that,
Right.
but how do you two also memorize a woman and a man does the same?
Yeah.
You're doing it for your husband, but
Right.
the wife needs to get it in return as well.
Oh, absolutely.
And so that kind of opens the
Right.
floor too,
Right.
for someone to want to feel romantic with you and
Yeah,
sexy and attractive.
The thing about romance is so many different factors that make up your love. Mm-hmm. So if we're having now, like for you like to talk, and I mean, I ain't throwing no shade in that. But you do like to talk,
Yes.
And you like for me to listen and be attentive to you.
That's true.
But at that moment when I'm attentive, when I'm into everything that you're saying, that kind of stimulates you. I see you.
Yeah, it does.
And so that's
Of
what you're
course.
talking about. Women need that stimulation.
Right.
And it's not always a physical thing. It's a mental
That's true.
thing. So
That's true.
I get exactly what you're saying.
Oh yeah, and I definitely love even how you are. I know it's we both have different personalities, but it's just you more laid back. I'm more talkative.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
yeah, it works. It
Yeah.
works for us.
Yeah.
But and so I'm more so. That's why I say practice in
That's
your
right.
relationship,
There
like
you
in the
go.
beginning, and don't say things that are hurtful.
Right, right.
Things to put your spouse down, because it's kind of hard to build up romance.
Right. That's right.
Once
After
you're
that.
once you're doing those things,
That's right. That's right.
continue to build your spouse up. And babe, when you was just explaining about communication, texting and talking throughout the day,
Yeah.
it's good.
It's very
Telling
good.
your spouse, I love you.
Yeah.
Just letting them know, sending a simple text and saying that I'm thinking about you and that I appreciate you.
See, that's another.
That's kind of setting the tone.
That's the stimulation. That's what I'm talking about. So we communicate. It's something that me and you do every day. Throughout the day, we constantly telling each other, "Man, I love you, and I'm
Right.
thinking about you, and I can't wait to see you."
That's true.
These
It's kind
things.
of it's kind of lifestyle in our marriage.
Of course, we've been doing it since day one. So,
Right.
it's important for
Right.
people to learn these
Right,
type
right.
things. That way you can keep that spark.
Yeah, and
That's
it
what
makes
keeps
for
that
a
spark.
great marriage.
That's right. So
And like,
Go
babe,
ahead.
I know I'm talking like, but okay, so when you say those things
Mm-hmm.
and you say that, you know, it's important to do that,
Mm-hmm.
think about if somebody else, you never give somebody else the opportunity to tell somebody, your husband, your wife, the person you're in a serious relationship,
right.
tell them, you know, how great they are. You should be the first
You
person.
should be hearing it every day.
Right.
From coast to coast and around the globe, you are now tuned into Fly Christian Couple on Air.
You know, baby, we should never stop doing the little things.
That's true.
That's another. I
That's
think
true.
that's another thing that goes along with dating and communicating.
Amen.
You know, I love the fact that sometimes when I wake up in the morning and I might be getting ready to leave the house or something like that.
Right.
And I might go into, you know, the restroom or whatever, and I'm probably getting ready to shave or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And you leave a note inside the mirror
Uh-huh.
saying that, you know, baby, I love you so much and you're so amazing to me. You know, you do stuff like that.
I know. I just
So,
love you so much.
You know, those are what I consider the little things.
Mm-hmm.
That's the small, you know, you encouraging me before I leave the house and telling me,
Right.
you know, baby, you're such a good man. You're such, you know, this and you're such that. So then if I step out in the world
Right.
and someone feels the need to compliment me,
Uh-huh.
then it's not automatically, I'm not just
Moved.
taking it or moved to the point to where, you know, it's affecting me.
Right.
Because I've already heard it at home.
A million times.
Right. So,
Right.
you know, that's just so, it's so important to make each other feel special, you know. And I'm going to just read this quick scripture real quick. Mm-hmm. And it says in Proverbs 5:18 through 19, it says, "Let your fountain be blessed and rejoice in the wife of your youth, a lovely deer, a graceful doe. Let her breasts fill you at all times with delight. Be intoxicated always in her love."
Oh.
See, that's, you know, it's telling you right there.
Oh gosh, God is so dope.
You
I
know,
love it.
enjoy each other.
Right.
Enjoy one another.
Right.
Don't let your flame, don't let your romance die
That's
in your marriage.
true. That's true.
You know, continue to tell each other long after you got children, long after you said I do, long after the bills are rolling. And
That's true.
Mortgage payments and jobs and
Right,
careers.
right.
Continue to love on each other.
Don't allow, you know, and continue to build that bond. You
That's
know,
right.
don't allow the things of the world to allow you to waver in
That's
your
right.
marriage. And babe, I just love how you said that.
Right.
Just how you, because that's something I just strongly believe in. I believe in showing that love and
Absolutely.
that genuineness towards you.
That's
and
right.
building you up, because I mean, you do me the same way. You
know-
compliment me, so therefore I don't need it elsewhere.
Right. And a lot of times,
Right.
you know, not just putting people all in our personal business, but, you know, we don't always have to go out and do things like you said earlier in the show. Sometimes we'll get in the front room and we might cut on some nice jazz music and we'll slow dance.
Yes.
You know, it's the small
It's the
things
small
that we
things.
do.
That's true.
You know, me running a bath for
That's
you and
true.
lighting some candles.
That's true.
It's small things
That's
that
true.
you can do
Yeah.
to just show that appreciation or that love for one another.
That's true.
Yeah.
And you know, people need to really hear this, because, you know, God, it's a lot of people, a lot of ways that the enemy is creeping into in people's homes.
Right. Right.
Because the fire has been let down.
That's right.
And it's just good that, and I've said this, I mentioned it on the first show, guys, we are very private people. Our family know that we're private, but for us to share these things is to share because we help throughout the earth. We're tired of seeing families being broken up and homes being destroyed by the enemy, because he wants you to believe in your mind and in your heart and in your spirit that you don't have to feel that you won't feel these ways with only your spouse.
That's right.
But that is a lie. That is a lie from the pit of hell, because God, when he connects you with someone and it's in his will and in his power, you can love on each other how you're supposed to.
That's right.
And you can build each other up. Yeah. And you can do that through romance.
Absolutely.
And even simple things, it's like sending flowers to your spouse's job, or
absolutely. That's very important.
Flowers home, or bringing flowers home to your wife. Yeah. Or even, I know some will do roses even for their husbands.
That's right.
I just think it's like you said, it's the little things, it's the small details that matter. Yeah, and so I just want to go through the steps one more time, just of romance.
Okay.
Just, date one another.
Okay.
The importance of communicating when you're outside of the home, throughout the day, when you're at work.
Right.
So it's dating, communicating. Never stop doing the little things.
Right.
Small details, they matter, and they make each other feel special.
Absolutely.
You want to make that person that you love feel special.
Right.
Also live selflessly.
Right.
Always make each other your number one top priority, and stop making your kids before your spouse.
Right.
Be realistic and just understand that understand each other's needs, and just support one another.
That's right.
Because if you don't have each other's support, you really can't expect somebody else to put in that work that you're supposed to put in for your spouse.
Absolutely.
And don't be lazy. In your marriage and in your relationship. Encourage one another, build one another up, show your appreciation, your care, your love, your romance, just how much you love each other. That is just a beautiful thing to me, and that's something I love to do for baby.
Absolutely.
And I just wanted to read this scripture and what it says. It says 1 Peter 3:7. It says, likewise, husbands, live with your wives in an understanding way, showing honor to the woman as the weaker vessel.
Right.
So men, just continue to understand that your wife is the weaker vessel. You're supposed to be that strength for her.
Right.
And so when you do see a woman in those down moments, or husbands, wives, when you see your husbands in those down moments, it is your job. You made that vow to that person to encourage them, uplift them, and build them up.
And just have a realistic, like you said, a realistic understanding.
That's true.
When it comes to your romance, when it comes to your sex life, when it comes to all of these things.
That's true.
Come together and communicate and talk about things.
That's true.
And make time for one another. And
remember that you don't necessarily have to do, anything that is over the top or big or, spectacular for your spouse. You can be something that's so small that you can share in and that you can do. I remember when me and baby first got together, I used to always tell him, baby, I could live in a cardboard box with you. I love you so much. Yes, honey.
Yeah. I mean, that's just the love, the love that you have for me, and vice versa, the love I have for you. So, man, this has been a great episode. This blessed me.
Oh yeah,
it got me want to go light some candles or something. So, yeah, this is nice, man. I hope that something was said, that would encourage you to think a little bit different.
Yeah,
think a little bit more about, just rekindling that romance in your marriage.
Yes.
So it's so important. And, we get caught up in everyday lives, and it's easy to forget.
It is.
Why you're in the place. Why we were joined together, That's right, why you're in that place. So, yeah, man, this was truly a blessing.
Yeah, so y'all go lay out on some picnic what it is, babe, like the little
Yeah,
picnic
man.
thingy on the ground.
That's
and
right.
everything, and
Get your basket with some cold cuts or something.
Reflect why y'all still married.
Absolutely.
Why y'all got together in the beginning.
That's
how
right.
you made each other feel.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Laugh with one another. You know, enjoy each other. And so, yeah, that's some good stuff, babe. You can go ahead and read off these social medias, man, and we can get ready to wrap it up.
Oh, yeah. So the number one spot where you guys can reach us from now on is going to be YouTube. And so you can find us at Fly Christian Couple. Also, you can look us up on Twitter at Fly Christ Couple.
All right.
And on Twitter, you can always send us a tweet or, follow us or anything like that. We're on there all the time, or our notifications come there all the time directly to our phone. And I really do apologize, guys, if we don't respond to you as quick as we should on Facebook. It's because we don't have our notifications set up on there. But we are set up on Twitter and YouTube, so you can connect with us. Those are the number 2 spots. Right. And when we are on Facebook, we will reach back out to you once you contact us in our inbox or any type of messages that you may send us. But we are on Facebook as Terry McCarter and Tanya McCarter. And then our email address is flychristiancouple@gmail.com. And also our website is www.flychristiancouple.com.
There you go.
Yeah.
There it is. So, Fly Christian Couple on there once again. And, man, we just going to encourage you guys to continue to dream big. Just continue to love on God, live for God.
Be saved.
And be saved, man. And just allow God to just take over your entire being, your entire life.
Right.
And let him do what it is that you need him to do in your life.
That's true.
And, man, we're going to wrap it up. We're going to get up out of here. And so until next time, we love you.
Yeah.
We appreciate you guys.
Thank you guys for tuning in and for all the downloads. We appreciate you guys.
Man, we love y'all, man. Most definitely. So Fly Christian Couple on there. We out.
Yes. Love you guys. Bye-bye.